You're watching France24. It's time now for our look at the international papers with Marie-Noëlle Bauer. Good morning, Marie-Noëlle. Today, of course, October the 17th is World Poverty Day. We're going to be making quite a lot of that on France24. Tell us what the paper's saying.
Well, yeah, it's a theme that's rather powerfully invoked throughout the international press. India's Hindustan Times devotes an article to the plight of the nowhere people. Now, this isn't some Beatle tribute band. It's rather tens of thousands of Bengali Muslims who've been uprooted by violence and who live in makeshift camps in the Assam region. And they're prey to militants who want to drive them away, and they are reduced to selling their women to survive. The bleak conclusion of one of their elders is that people do not want us anywhere.
Of course, nowhere people are indeed everywhere, Marie-Noëlle. It's not just the sole preserve of developing nations, is it?
Absolutely. The New York Times offers us a really compelling portrait of Anna and Felix, who are two Mexican immigrant homeless people in the Big Apple. This 73-year-old woman and this 49-year-old man were drinking partners and eventually lovers who sat on a milk crate in front of a bodega. And that was until earlier this month Felix was roused from his sleep in front of a church and set on fire by teenagers. This crime really affected the whole neighborhood and left his beloved woman roaming the streets calling his name. And this article is really worth reading. It's not hackneyed, it's just very touching.
So that's the New York Times. But moving on, there's a boiling race debate which is hitting the headlines in Britain. Tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. The splash of today's British Independent reads, Africans are less intelligent than Westerners. Now, it isn't some Yahoo racist who says this. It's James Watson. And he's actually one of the world's most eminent scientists, and he scored a Nobel Peace Prize, no, not Nobel Peace Prize, but rather a Nobel Scientific Prize for unraveling the DNA conundrum. He runs one of America's leading scientific research institutions, and he's drawing widespread condemnation in the UK after comments he made to rival paper The Sunday Times, stating, I quote, all our social policies are based on the fact that their intelligence is the same as ours, whereas all testing says not really. This is in reference to Africans.
Perhaps we need to look at those tests again then, James Watson. But over here in France, Nicolas Sarkozy, of course, the president, lying rather low at the moment, perhaps because of continuing speculation over the state of his marriage.
Well, maybe, but also some people are saying that the new president, who swept in on an unprecedented feeling of goodwill, may have the tide turning. There's unease and discontent appearing among his opponents, but also his own party and his own government. The article kicks off rather amusingly with the town council of Sanat in central France, which has become so fed up with Nicolas Sarkozy that it's decided not to hang up his official portrait in its town hall, a mini resistance of sorts. But the real test of the president's might will be tomorrow's huge one-day strike opposing his pension reform initiative.
And that's when the honeymoon really does end. Marie-Noëlle, tell us what's going to happen tomorrow in France.
Just look at these images. They are a foretaste of hell. I mean, they really should have the tagline, wish you were here. They show the travel chaos that's going to be hitting us tomorrow.
Oh, dear me. Well, order your taxis, your bicycles, your roller skates in advance. Finally, just to finish up, Marie-Noëlle, tell us about the French article in Le Parisien.
Absolutely. You know, it's not all gloom and doom in France. We also have, you know, a few things we like. Teenagers, at least, are really taken with German baby goth Tokyo Hotel, who are rocking in Paris this week. French daily Le Parisien tells us more about this glam punk phenomenon, which has become an incredible money spinner and has totally passed me by and makes me feel rather old.
Well, you're not the only one, Marie-Noëlle. I wouldn't know a baby goth if it hit me on the head. Thank you very much indeed for that review of the papers. Marie-Noëlle Bauer, stay tuned to France24. Thank you.